You think you can just walk in here? Come on, show me what you got!
I'm not going anywhere.
You're gonna regret this!
The first punch never landed, but the silence that surrounded it echoed louder than any explosion I had heard during 23 years of military service. It happened on a bright Saturday morning under a clear blue sky, with neighbors lining the sidewalks, children riding bicycles, and families enjoying the peaceful sunshine. A crowd gathered as a confident young martial artist stepped into the middle of the street, convinced he was about to humiliate an old man who looked too quiet, too ordinary, and too weak to defend himself. None of them knew that the gray-haired gardener standing calmly in faded work clothes had once led one of the most elite Navy SEAL teams in the world. They saw wrinkles where experience lived, silence where discipline had grown, and kindness where unimaginable strength had been forged. Before we begin, if you believe kindness is stronger than revenge and everyone deserves a second chance, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Echo. Your support helps us bring more emotional stories that inspire hearts around the world. My name is Nathan Mercer. I was 64 years old, retired, and living the quiet life I had dreamed about through decades of dangerous missions that most people would never hear about. My small white house sat at the edge of a peaceful neighborhood where birds filled the mornings with music and children laughed while walking to school. Every sunrise reminded me that simply being alive was a blessing many of my brothers in uniform never received. My knees hurt when I worked in the garden, my shoulders carried old scars hidden beneath simple shirts, and my heart carried memories that time could never erase. I spent my mornings planting flowers, repairing old fences, and helping elderly neighbors carry groceries. Few people asked about my past, and I preferred it that way. Peace was something I had earned through sacrifice. Everything changed the day a massive black luxury SUV rolled into the mansion across the street. The property had been empty for months before the arrival of the Whitmore family. Their wealth was obvious long before anyone met them. Expensive cars filled the driveway. Contractors arrived daily, and every weekend became another opportunity to show the neighborhood how successful they were. Their perfectly trimmed lawns and sparkling marble entrance looked more like a private resort than a family home. Most neighbors admired them. Others quietly envied them. I simply wished them happiness and continued watering my roses. The father, Victor Whitmore, built a reputation almost immediately. He spoke loudly, expected special treatment, and believed money solved every problem. His wife stayed mostly out of sight, offering polite smiles without saying much. Their only son, Caden, had just turned 22. He was tall, athletic, and incredibly skilled in martial arts, proudly wearing a black belt earned after years of disciplined training. There was no denying his talent. Unfortunately, talent without humility often becomes dangerous. Caden enjoyed attention. Every chance he had, he demonstrated spinning kicks in the driveway, uploaded training videos online, and accepted admiration from friends, who constantly reminded him that he was unbeatable. I noticed something else about him that few others seemed to see. Beneath the confidence lived a restless young man desperately trying to prove himself. Every compliment seemed to satisfy him only briefly before he searched for another challenge. Every victory left him hungry for a larger audience. It reminded me of young soldiers I had once trained, eager to show courage before understanding responsibility. Weeks passed peacefully until a neighborhood charity festival brought everyone together in the local park. Families enjoyed homemade food, children played games under colorful tents, and local musicians performed cheerful songs beneath the warm afternoon sun. I volunteered at a veteran support booth, helping organize donations for wounded service members and their families. Most visitors stopped to thank veterans for their service before moving on. Caden arrived surrounded by friends wearing matching gym shirts, proudly demonstrating martial arts techniques for anyone willing to watch. His movements were fast, powerful, and undeniably impressive. The crowd applauded every spinning kick. Then an accident happened. A small boy chasing a soccer ball ran directly into Caden's demonstration area. Without thinking, I stepped forward and gently pulled the child away before one of Caden's kicks passed inches from the boy's face. The child remained completely unharmed, but Caden lost his balance and stumbled awkwardly. His friends laughed nervously, while several people looked away to hide their smiles. For the first time all afternoon, Caden looked embarrassed. I quietly returned the boy to his grateful mother and walked back toward the veteran's booth. To me, the moment was already over. To Caden, it had only begun. From that day forward, I noticed the young man watching me differently. Every time we crossed paths, his expression carried frustration. He believed I had embarrassed him publicly, even though my only intention had been protecting a child. Pride often rewrites memories until kindness feels like humiliation. Several mornings later, while I repaired my wooden mailbox beneath another beautiful sunny sky, Caden approached with confident steps. Neighbors watering gardens slowed their work. Dog walkers paused nearby. Curious eyes quietly watched from porches and windows. Word spread quickly that the neighborhood champion wanted to confront the quiet old man. Caden stood only a few feet away, muscles tense and confidence overflowing. His body language challenged me long before any words could have. I looked into his eyes and saw something familiar. Fear hidden beneath arrogance. Insecurity disguised as strength. I had seen that look before on battlefields where young men believed courage meant never backing down. I simply smiled. That smile frustrated him even more. His confidence grew louder, while my silence remained unchanged. The growing audience expected anger, insults, or violence. Instead, I calmly finished tightening the final screw on my mailbox before standing upright. Years of military discipline had taught me that the strongest person in any conflict is often the one least interested in fighting. The tension spread across the street like electricity. Children stopped riding bicycles. Parents quietly gathered closer. Phones appeared as neighbors prepared to record what they expected would become another viral internet fight. No one realized they were about to witness something entirely different. Caden stepped forward, determined to prove his reputation. Every movement reflected thousands of hours of martial arts training. His balance was excellent. His posture revealed confidence. His breathing remained controlled. I respected the discipline behind his skills, because discipline itself is never the enemy. Pride is. For a brief moment, memories flooded my mind. Endless training fields beneath blazing daylight. Helicopter blades cutting through the air. Brothers whose names were carved into memorial walls instead of family photo albums. Missions where hesitation meant someone never came home. Those memories never left me. They simply became quieter with age.